Rogers TV.
Good evening and welcome to West Talk. We've got another exciting episode for you this week. We've got a guest in studio and we're also going to be checking in with some of the exciting venues right here in town to talk about what kind of events you can expect coming up in April. We'll chat with the Arts and Culture Center, most likely be talking to the Rotary Arts Center, so you can be prepared for that. But starting off this episode, our guest here in studio is going to be talking about an exciting event coming up this weekend actually, and we are going to plunge right into it. I'd like to welcome Natasha Moore for coming down and having a chat with me. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Natasha, you are here because you are organizing the second annual Polar Plunge being put off by the Law Enforcement Torch Run group. So there's a bunch of things to unpack here, but we're going to get into how people in Western Newfoundland can join you and go freeze their arse off this weekend for a good cause, right?
For sure.
But can you just tell us about the Law Enforcement Torch Run? You're wearing the shirt here. This is something that's been established long before this Polar Plunge. So let's start there.
Right, so the Law Enforcement Torch Run is for Special Olympics. So I'm a representative for Law Enforcement Torch Run for Special Olympics Newfoundland and Labrador. There are several provincial entities, as well as this is like a national program. So several provinces and territories in Canada and as well as the US. And our main goal is to get together as law enforcement officers and first responders to raise money for Special Olympics. The event this weekend is the Polar Plunge, and all the money raised will go directly to Special Olympics Newfoundland and Labrador and stay with the local athletes.
Cool. And so can I ask you just a side question? You work in law enforcement. Can you tell us a little bit just about your sort of career path quickly and where and what capacity you're involved now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been a park warden with Parks Canada for going on 5 years now. I'm currently working in Grossmoor National Park.
Congrats. Best park in Canada.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. I definitely don't take it for granted. And well, I grew up in Pasadena, so I'm back close to home, whereas I have worked in Riding Mountain National Park in Manitoba and Wood Buffalo National Park in the Northwest Territories. So coming home last winter was my first winter back home, and I have a connection to Special Olympics as my sister's been an athlete in Corner Brook for many, many years. Yeah. So it's kind of my way to give back to the community and to get involved and help raise funds for her program, which I've seen firsthand how she's benefited from it and other athletes that she's competed with and against. It's a super, super great opportunity to be able to provide people with intellectual disabilities the opportunity to participate in sport. So we raise money for local provincial entities, and it gives them the opportunity to not just compete locally, but they can also compete provincially, nationally, and internationally also. Yeah. So it's a program that's bigger than me, but this is my little way to give back to that. Yeah. And we had our first Polar Plunge last year. It was the first time on the West Coast, whereas it's been in St. John's. They've had a Polar Plunge there for the last 10 years. Yeah.
So first of all, shout out to Cheyenne Moore, my number one Western Newfoundland Olympian, legendary athlete. We actually have such a vibrant community of Special Olympians here in Western Newfoundland, like really hardworking, competitive, award-winning athletes. And so really cool to be for anybody to be able to contribute to sending them on to compete on a big stage. So that's awesome. And I guess we can kind of shift into talking about the actual events itself, right? Yep. I love the tagline, freezing for a reason. That's pretty sweet. So let's talk about, first of all, it seems like over the last few years, like polar plunging and even like ice baths and just the whole idea of like shocking your body with cold water might actually be really good for you. for lots of different things, physically, mentally, but still, it's the challenge of getting your body to do that, of just taking that dip. It's, it's a really fun, exciting challenge, and it seems like a healthy and fun thing to do. So, but for people who might want to just go jump into a freezing, icy lake in April, there obviously are some precautions that need to be taken. There's probably a right and a wrong way to do it. So let's talk about the actual plunge event and sort of the mechanics of that, how that's going to go down this weekend, what people should expect to see.
Yeah, so this coming Sunday, April the 6th at 1 p.m., we're going to meet at Tippings Pond at the top of Massey Drive. So this is the same location as we hosted the event last year. It's a great location because there's actually a group of local plungers that have been keeping a hole in the ice all year. I'm not sure how much ice is there right now. I haven't been up there yet, but it'll be cold regardless. Yeah. April in Newfoundland.
It's probably still frozen up there, right? That's a really high point. So.
Yeah, but it's also fantastic because the dock is there, so it allows you to walk out, and then there's a ladder also. Okay. So last year worked really well. We had people plunge just one at a time for safety reasons. And then we have a couple of ice fishing shelters with propane heaters inside. So you can pop in and get your wet clothes off, and you don't have to be cold for long.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I guess you probably have some volunteers around just for safety, like, do you have the search and rescue, or is there anybody like that around just in case somebody has a little meltdown?
Yeah, so we don't have any search and rescue or anything on hand, but the volunteers involved with the torch run are all first responders and highly trained. So
true, right? You have all those people, right? That makes sense.
One of the safest places to be in Newfoundland, maybe.
True, for sure. And of course, as well, like you said, some of the plungers who people have a lot of experience up there. I'm sure they'll be around as well, just to make sure and lend their experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and so now there's people listening who are thinking, hey, I want to support law enforcement. I want to support our Special Olympians. Mm-hmm. I'm feeling a little bit saucy, might jump in a frozen lake. So how can they get involved, and how can they contribute to the fundraising? How does that aspect work?
Right, so if anybody would like to sign up, there is an email address. So it's letrplunge@gmail.com. So you can shoot an email there, and I can send you back any of the information you're asking for. So whether it's if you'd like to sponsor a team, if you'd like to sign up, I can send you all of the information you'll need there. But we also have the opportunity, if you're too chicken to plunge, we have some rubber chickens on hand.
No way.
So a donation of $10, you can throw your rubber chicken in the water instead.
Wow. Wow, that's actually hilarious.
Yeah.
So there really is a little something for everybody here. So there's there's plungers out there now. Plungers, I love this.
There's people out there every day.
And there's also been people out here raising funds for themselves, right? Who are saying, I'm going to go do this. Mm-hmm. People can support them, donate to them. So that's an option. People can contact you to figure out how to support somebody who's already committed to doing this, but also they themselves can commit to doing this and get their friends and family to sort of back them as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we, of course, welcome spectators also. If people want to come out and cheer on the plungers, we're hoping to have several local athletes from the Brook Vikings team show up also.
Nice.
So all of the support, whether it's awareness or sponsorship, is important for sure.
Yeah, and you made a really cool comment off camera here just about how in the law enforcement community, and first responders, you guys are often interacting in different capacities, not always the greatest, right? A lot of the times it's sort of unfortunate things that bring together law enforcement and first responders.
Yeah.
So do you feel that this seems to be a thing that people in law enforcement are excited about? It's like a social... Is it like a networking thing for law enforcement people, or what?
Yeah, absolutely. So last year we had representatives from a number of different agencies, and we have a couple of new ones this year. I believe we have a couple of people registered from the Brook Fire Department also. So cool. We have lots of different first responders and law enforcement agencies involved, and it's a great networking opportunity and a great way for us to get together and give back in a positive way.
Just have a little bit of fun together.
Yeah.
And freezing for a reason. Is there anything else that you'd want to say to anybody who's listening to this? Maybe somebody a little bit apprehensive, or I know you've been doing this yourself, right? So like, what do you think about this experience? What does it feel like for you to jump in this lake, and why would you actually suggest to somebody else that it's a good idea? Besides raising money, why is it good for them to jump in this water?
I mean, I always like to challenge myself to have new life experiences, and I think it's important for a lot of people to just change up their day and do something different, do something to challenge the body and the mind. Like I said, you're only cold temporarily, and then you can go get warm, and then you did it, and you get to celebrate that. And I mean, having all of the local athletes in attendance to cheer you on also, it means something a little bit more for sure.
Really encouraging.
Yeah.
And one last question, does there become any competitive aspect to this? Are there people in there timing themselves, or does it go that direction, or is that encouraged, or
I mean, last year people were pretty much in and out. We did have one local participant who has been plunging all winter long, and I think he was in the water the longest for sure.
Right.
Definitely a mind over matter game.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if there's some people that kind of want to have that little competition factor, it's just they can pop out whenever they want. The ladder is there, and there's
challenge
lots of people
friend
on hand to help out for sure.
Yeah. I love that. Well, thank you very much for coming down.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And you know, good luck this weekend. You're going to be cold, you're going to be uncomfortable, but you're going to raise some money for a good cause. And I guess if you're involved in any other, if the Torch Run group has any other, initiatives throughout the year, seasonal things, then you'll have to come back and tell us all about it. Yeah, absolutely. And the weather forecast right now is +4 and sunny for Sunday, so it'll be a great time to do it. Amazing. Thank you so much for coming down. Thank you. And good luck this weekend. And that was Natasha Moore, organizer of this year's Polar Plunge event put off by the Law Enforcement Torch Run crew. It's April 6th, Tippings Pond up in Massey Drive. You can reach out online to get involved or to donate or just show up there and watch. We're going to jump right over now into the events of the week. Stay tuned.
My biggest therapy is Mother Nature. When I walk through the woods, I'm seeing a little bit more than just a tree and just a plant. I see what I can do with it. I make medicines and salves from plants and trees. In 2014, I suffered with a heart attack. Since I had my heart attack, obviously there were some Western medications involved. And on top of the Western medication, I have found myself nature-wise, and medicines provided by Mother Nature has helped me a lot. With nature, I have burned sage and sweetgrass. I find that cleanses the air and helps you cleanse your body. It also helps me talk to my ancestors. That has helped me through this whole process. I feel responsible as a Mi'kmaq person to help Mother Nature. We look at everything, whether it is a rock or a tree, as life. When I collect my medicines, I'm offering tobacco to thank the plant for the medicine. So the plant will, give me medicine again the following year. It's a part of the big whole. Right now we're standing in the middle of a boreal forest. I can look around, I can see birch trees. Birch tree, for example, there's so many things you can do with that. That is the tree of life. Aboriginal people have used the bark for making canoes, for making shelter, for fire starting. There's a fungus that grows on birch, it's called chaga. I use that for my tea. It's a very, very good all-around tonic. Balsam fir trees, the blisters on those trees actually were used to heal cuts and scrapes. You cut yourself in the woods, the first thing we'll do is put some balsam fir sap on it. Society now is so fast. I think the world really needs to slow down and just enjoy nature and the smells and the sights and sounds. Well, this is where it all started in the beginning, was from our plants, and our animals and that kind of thing. Why not go back to the beginning and get back to our roots again? It's very important for the Mi'kmaq people to embrace native tradition. For many, many years, we were told not to be Aboriginal, and I think now society has embraced Aboriginal peoples, and we should embrace our history in the sense of traditional medicines and traditional foods. I think it's all a part of the culture that we've lost. So now we have an opportunity to reach out and find ourselves again.
Happy April, everyone. The beginning of April sees us very busy with the Rotary Music Festival. Tickets for the final concert on April 4th are now on sale. Coming up on April 11th, we have an incredible family-friendly comedy and magic show featuring the talents of Michael Conway and Chris Pillsworth. This is going to be a great show for the whole family. This year, we are thrilled to host the Provincial Drama Festival. The last time we hosted the festival was in 2018 as part of the Arts and Culture Center's 50th anniversary. This year is the 75th anniversary of the Provincial Drama Festival, which is an incredible feat, and we are thrilled to be the host venue. The festival kicks off with a preview performance of the host committee off-Broadway Players production of the Cayuga Canal Girls on April 17th. On April 19th, the festival opens with the host show and continues until April 26th. We hope you can join us for 8 nights of theater. For more details, please check out our website. Coming up on April 28th, we have Atlantic Jazz Nights. Now in its 3rd season, this is an incredible jazz series presented by the Arts and Culture Center. This series is hosted and curated by celebrated St. John's bass pianist Florian Hefner and bassist Jim Vivian. Now in its 3rd season, this year will feature Aubrey Johnson, Tomoko Omiura, and Jay Sawyer. Coming up in May is Open Door Theater's charming production of Robin Hood. And on Sunday, May 4th, we are thrilled to present the 35th anniversary of The Irish Descendants. Join us as we celebrate 35 years of incredible music. Also in May is an amazing array of shows, from Beatlemania to NL Promotions' 10th anniversary show, Susan the Blue Cart, a Tragically It tribute, Adam Grove, the Cash Cab Guy, Graham Academy show Mean Girl, and an Alan Jackson tribute. So there is definitely something for everyone. There are new shows added every day, so please check out our website for details, and I'll see you at the show.
Hello, hello. I'm Nicole Fougere. I'm Executive Director of the Rotary Arts Center, and we have a really full April month of activities. I can't wait to tell you about it. First, I'll start with some announcements. This month, we're hosting our Small Works Big Impact fundraiser gala. This is held at the Hue and Draw, and all of the proceeds go to support the Teen Adulter Gallery at the Rotary Arts Center. It is an amazing night out on the town, and if you buy a ticket, then you get to win a work of art. It's so exciting. You can get tickets at our box office or on our website, and that's going to be April 10th. Another big announcement this month is we are looking for new board members. So we're looking for people to really join our team, to get involved, and we're also looking for people to volunteer in other ways. We're going to have a lot of board subcommittees. Like if you've got a passion for finance, come and join us. We could use your help with finance tracking, with fundraising. We're hoping to have a diversity, equity, and inclusion subcommittee. And of course, we want to bolster up our visual arts committee and our theater committees that all support our activities at the Rotary Arts Center. In addition to looking for board members, we're also just looking for volunteers in general. So come talk to us about your skill set. Maybe there's something that you can offer that we haven't thought of before. In particular, we often use volunteers to usher for our performances. And so if you show up just a little bit before the show, then you get a free ticket to the show. You get to meet some of the people who are part of our Rotary Arts Center family. I think ushering is a lot of fun. I get to do that gig too sometimes. So please let us know if you're interested in volunteering. Another announcement is that we have launched again this year in 2025 our Artist in Residency program. Now, this is for artists of all disciplines, and it's for a month-long, in-depth deep dive in your own creative process. The application for that is on our website, and be welcome to contact us about that too if you've got any questions. Now, in terms of all of the activities that are happening in the theater, in the gallery, and all of the educational workshops, here we go. There's like 12 of them. In the category of music, coming up this weekend, we've got Cormier Country featuring Gordon and Loretta. That's on Saturday, April 5th. Also with music, and this one is going to be great. You don't want to miss this one. We have a tribute to Bob Dylan. That's with the Rotary Arts House Band, and that's on April 18th. And I think that one's going to sell out, so make sure you get your tickets for that one. On Thursday, April 24th, we've got another great music show called Folk It. I think that one's going to be fun too. And again, if you need tickets, you can always go to our website, or you can call into our box office or come in person. Now, we have more than just music too at the Rotary Arts Centre. So in the category of theater, we have a bunch of shows on this month too. We have a show called Marion Bridge by Daniel McIver, and that's with some students from Grenfell, and that's coming up on Saturday, April 12th. Super exciting, we have an evening of short plays by a Grenfell graduate named Jamie S. Merrigan, that one, I'm excited about that one because I know that Jamie is really excited about making a career for themselves here in Corner Brook or in Newfoundland, so come out and support local talent, everyone. An evening of short plays on Saturday, April 26th, pardon me. Now, in the category of interesting and unique at the Rotary Arts Centre, coming up actually really soon on Friday, April 4th, we have something called the Indie Broadcast Launch with Glasses and Girl. Now, this is a really interesting local group of people. They're going to be launching a new podcast, but they're having like a launch party with some music. And as you can imagine, I think it's so great that we're finding new ways here in Corner Brook to tell each other the interesting stories of this city. So come and cheer them all out on April 4th. Now we get into category films, because you know we've got films at Rotary Arts Centre now. This week on April 2nd, we have a film called The Monsters Without. This film is in collaboration with the Association for New Canadians, because it's by a really amazing Filipino film director. It's won a ton of awards, and we're offering that one at a pay-what-you-can price. So please just be welcome to come out. The popcorn's always free. Award-winning film on April the 2nd. Other films we have this month, we've got a film called In My Backyard on April 21st, and another film called Anora on April 28th. Then we get into the category of visual art and workshops and creativity. This week we have our last life drawing class for the season. Life drawing, if you haven't done it before, it is super easy. As a beginner, you're very welcome to come out. Bring like a sketch pad and some pencils. If you don't have art supplies, we can help you out. It's totally free. There's a live clothed model on the stage, and there's a teacher who sort of gently guides you through the process of practicing drawing figures. So that's this April 3rd, Thursday, April 3rd at 6 p.m., totally for free. And then we have a beginner earring assembly workshop on Monday, April 7th. Now that one is almost sold out. Again, it's free, but if you want to get into that one, make sure you click on our website and grab your spot. And that is the full lineup of fun stuff at the Rotary Arts Centre for April, and we really hope to see you there. And I almost forgot, we have one more fun thing. It's a great show called Babes, 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 Burlesque and Drag Show. And that's on Wednesday, April 16th. You're not gonna wanna miss that one.
Come to where the land and the spirits are intertwined. Discover a whole new way to see this place. Feel the earth under your feet. as you walk the path of our ancestors. Immerse yourself in our traditions. Ours is a culture alive with music, dance, art, nature, and adventure. It's in the air, the water, the sound of the wind in the trees. It's in the stories of our elders and the faces of our children, those with a shared history yet to discover. It's knowing that everything that casts a shadow has a spirit. Everything is alive. See what we see. Experience Malibu.
So why volunteer at Rogers TV? Well, it's fun, exciting, and challenging. You can develop practical, hands-on skills in TV production, make new friends, and have fun, all while giving back to your community. For a few hours a week, you can be part of a great team making great local television. Want to find out more? Get in touch with us at rogerstv.com. Make your mark and find a new passion as a Rogers TV volunteer.
All right, and that's it for today's episode. I want to thank Natasha Moore for coming down to tell us about the Polar Plunge event happening in Massey Drive this weekend, as well for our fine venues here in Corner Brook for talking all about their exciting shows in April. That's it for this week. We'll be back next Tuesday night with another West Talk. See ya.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
This is Rogers TV.
When I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, I was deteriorating in front of everybody.
All my life I lived with sickle cell. I went through a tragic crisis that put me in a coma for 3 weeks. While I was in there, I received a lot of blood to put me in a healthier state.
I was given the plasma then through IVIG. Even though that happened so long ago, it still has a massive impact on me today.
Thanks to donors, I can live another life.
Because of you, I will be seeing my grandchild.
Trust me, you are not gonna want to miss this. Welcome to the little shop of spring magic, where anything is possible.
It's magical.
13 pastry prodigies will create stunning sweets. It's extreme. The baker who's got the magic touch.
This is taking me back to my childhood.
Will win it most magical title of all, Spring Baking Champion.
Now that's what I call spring magic.
Yeah, we gotta have it. We got the magic.
You're watching Rogers TV.
This is a perfectly healthy child. What's unhealthy